What do you want to be when you grow up? Hi, I'm Russ Rolling, and at the age of 52, my parents still ask me that question. Maybe you're starting on your career path, or maybe looking to make a career change. Maybe the advice that I can give you from my many years of work experience might just help you out a little bit. At the age of 52, I've held no less than 22 different paying jobs. I've learned more that it's about learning what I like through trial and error than setting a goal and trying to make sure that I accomplish it when it comes to my career. Throughout all these jobs, I've learned positives and negatives, as you can imagine. And in this speech, I'm going to discuss my impact to my career of the advice in the jobs that I had as a teenager and into my 20s, how my career changed as I moved into my 30s, and yet more changes that came, drastic changes, through my 40s and early 50s. Let me start by talking about my formative years. As a high schooler, all my guidance counselors told me that I should go into engineering or law. But school, just at the time, wasn't for me. So I tried working as a tour guide in a cave. I worked as a bank teller, worked as a groundskeeper, and even a grave digger in a cemetery. And early on, I even worked as a sound man for a rock band. Imagine that. What I learned through all of those jobs is that most of those jobs didn't provide me with any kind of stability whatsoever. So later in my 20s, I learned that I needed to go to school, and I completed a degree in electronics. I went off and I took a job with Rockwell Collins. While I was working at Rockwell Collins, I also moonlighted building fences, working as an electrician, and working as a roofer. What I learned through these is that I really preferred using my brains to using my brawn. The transition from my 20s into my 30s came with a lot of changes, not only to my career, but to my personal life. I thought I'd settled into a long-term, probably permanent career at Rockwell Collins. But in my early 30s, I became a divorced single father. And the finances from Rockwell Collins wouldn't support 3 kids and myself. So I started working second jobs. Tried my hand as a carpenter, as a DJ, even as an assistant nightclub manager. What I learned through this is that I enjoy working with people. I don't mind working with my hands, but still, I prefer brains to brawn when it comes to a way to earn my living. Plenty of changes came throughout my 30s, but the most drastic changes were to come in my 40s and even up until today. At the age of 42, I learned or realized the hard fact that the career that I thought would sustain me throughout my life as a technician really was never going to provide me the financial stability and security that I was looking for myself and my family. So I took a major plunge, and after 20 years of employment at the same place, I left to go work in the wind turbine industry for some career opportunity advancement chances. Unfortunately, less than a year after that job change, the recession hit. And it hit the wind industry harder than most industries. I ended up hundreds of miles away from home, working in wind turbines doing maintenance just to maintain a job. I did, a few months later, get an opportunity through that company to come back and work as a quality engineer, which was a major stepping stone, and I was able to use that stepping stone to work my way back to Rockwell Collins in a quality engineering position that provided that financial stability that I was looking for. I also figured out that I really don't like working real far away from home. At the age of 49, I went back to school at Mount Mercy University. And at the age of 50, I met someone very important to me, moved to a different state, and started a new job, a new career all over again. I'm still not done figuring out what my career is going to be because I'm hoping my education will take me yet to another level. So what do you learn from all of this? Well, in my formative years, I did a lot of trial and error and helped me figure out the things that I like, things that I don't like. Figured out the advice that I got from my counselors was partially right, but not completely right. I also learned that I like people, I like using my brains, not my brawn, and I like being close to home. Each of us experience change throughout our lives, some more dramatic than others. Change molds who we become, and a lot of times it also molds the careers that we choose. There's a website called Brainy Quote that has a lot of quotes from Confucius on it. One that most of us have heard is, choose a job you love and you will never work a day in your life. I have a hard time relating with that quote from Confucius because I've never found a job that I love so much that I want to go to it every day of my life. Confucius has another quote on that website that was a little more relatable to me. It says, "It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop." When it comes to figuring out who I want to be when I grow up, I have not yet stopped.